A pump increases the fascia of the muscle, and it increases the density of the capillaries, so your muscle delivery is, so the oxygen delivery to your muscles is more, but that necessarily does not mean it is a stimulus for muscle growth or hypertrophy. Welcome to the channel, guys. I am Bhaven, your host. I'm an engineer by profession and a certified personal trainer and a sports nutritionist by passion. In today's episode of the 5 costly mistakes in building muscle, we will discuss intensity. Intensity is probably one of the most misunderstood concepts in building muscle, right? One of the common mistakes people make about intensity is thinking that lifting heavy is the only way to build muscle, right? It is not. This notion is not wrong. It has stayed since long time back, and it's not going to change in the future, right? Simply because people have seen it and have experienced it, right? What happens when you go to the gym for the first time, right? You start to lift weight. You start to get stronger. You see your muscles are, you see you're building muscles. So you get stronger over the time, and you keep on, if you keep on going gym, you get more and more stronger, you build more and more muscle. So without understanding how hypertrophy works, I mean, it is only natural to think that lifting heavy is the only way to build muscle. The key to muscle growth, however, is intensity, right? Now, increasing your weights over the time is also a way of increasing the intensity. But you can go only up to a certain weight by lifting heavy, right? It's humanly not possible to keep on increasing your lifts, right? If you keep on trying to do that, right? You just try to push more and more weight. Eventually, sooner or later, you're going to hit a plateau, or you're going to injure yourself, right? So in such kind of scenarios, you need to learn different techniques to increase intensity, right? There are different ways to increase intensity. One way is decreasing the rest period between the sets. Okay, if I have to give you an example, the most common example would be the drop set, right? You pick up a weight, you perform a certain number of reps to failure. Immediately drop the weight, pick up a lighter weight, keep on doing another set to failure, and you keep on doing it till you cannot lift the weight anymore.
Down. All the way up. Get them up. Higher. 2 more. 1 more. 25s. To me and down. All the way. Get them up. Get them up. All the way up twice. 1 more. Grab the 15s. Let's go. Come on. All the way. Right here to me and down. Slow it down. Slow it down. To me. To me. All the way up. 3. Get them up. 2. Put them down. Bring your arms out to the side. Hold it. Bring it up. Hold it. Hold it. Bring it up. Bring it up. Get them higher. Get them up.
So this is one way. Another way of decreasing the rest period would be you take a weight where you can do 8 reps, and you take 45-second rest, right? After this, you perform with the same weight, you perform as many number of reps as you can to failure. Now you take 30 seconds, right? Then you perform the reps, and then after that you take 15-second rest, 10-second rest, 5-second rest, right? So across the sets, you are decreasing the rest period. So this is another way of increasing intensity, right? I'm going to do a different series of videos where I will show different techniques to increase the intensity, right? Now, another way to increase the intensity is by changing the tempo of your movements. or the most common term which we use is time under tension, right? So what you can do is you can count your seconds while you're doing the concentric movement. So let's say you take 3 seconds, right? 1, 2, 3 seconds to perform the concentric movement in your bicep curl, and 5 seconds to finish your eccentric movement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you are kind of slowing down and you're increasing the muscle stimulus.
Okay, 6 seconds down, 6 seconds up.
Another way to increase intensity is the rest pause set, right? So what you do is you lift the weight and under control and slow motion, and you pause it at the top of the moment for 1 second or 2 seconds, and then bring it down. And you can also hold it at the bottom, right? So you are pausing or resting at the end of the moment, either it's at the top or it's at the bottom, right? So this is creating a stimulus on the static contraction. So this is another way to increase intensity. Partial reps are also a very good way to increase intensity. So when after you go to complete failure in your normal reps, what you can do is you perform a couple of partial reps, right? So this increases the muscle stimulation and leads and can help in higher hypertrophy. All of the popular training programs like FST7 by Hanny Rambod or SST by Patrick Tor, these programs have elements of these intensity concepts. But remember, the primary stimulus for intensity is still the mechanical load or the weight you're lifting, right? By increasing intensity, you can have greater metabolic stress, or you can cause bigger muscular damage, but your base still has to be the mechanical load. You still need to be lifting a decent amount of weight. The lifts cannot be lighter, right? Do not mistake heavy breathing, sweating, or how fatigued are you at the end of the workout as indicators of intensity, right? Sweating is a body's phenomena. It happens when the temperature inside the body is high. When your body is hot, it's the body's response to sweat to cool the body down, right? Also, you should not consider how tired you are at the end of the workout as a primary stimulus for muscle growth or hypertrophy, right? To give you an example, let's consider you are doing 4 sets, okay? The first 2 sets are your warm-up or feeder sets, and the third and the fourth set are your working sets, right? Now, if you are not careful and you are exhausted in your first and second sets, which are your feeder sets, right, then you're still fatigued, right? You are not generating the maximum effort or maximum, you're not doing the maximum work on your working sets, which are important for hypertrophy or muscle growth. So you're still tired at the end of the 4 sets, but you did not get the maximum, stimulus for the muscle on the 3rd or 4th set. You're already fatigued on your warm-up sets. So this is, this scenario itself will explain you how fatigued are you is not a good indicator of intensity, right? Also, do not mistake pump for intensity, right? You can still get a good pump with light weight, right? A pump means nothing, it is, a pump increases the fascia of the muscle, and it increases the density of the capillaries, so your muscle delivery is, so the oxygen delivery to your muscles is more, but that necessarily does not mean it is a stimulus for muscle growth or hypertrophy, right? You need to be lifting a decent heavy weight, right? A good example, a ballpark weight, if I have to consider while doing an intensity exercise is any weight which I can do 8 reps, right? That should be your starting point for performing the intensity exercise, right? Now, however, again, I'm coming up with the caution that your nutrition has to be in point. You cannot be ramping up your intensity. You cannot be training to absolute failure. You should not actually be training to absolute failure unless your nutrition is to the point, right? So currently I'm shooting a hellacious training series with Cash Qudri, where you can watch the videos here. I have created a playlist. So he uses different intensity techniques in his workout. You can also have a look at these videos, right? And implement it in your workout. So episode 3 is going to be about recovery. Recovery is probably one of the most neglected or ignored part while building muscle. We are going to go in depth discussing about the factors related to recovery and go in detail how it affects muscle building and hypertrophy. So keep watching. We'll be back in episode 3.